In this episode, we're talking about the competitive landscape in the online booking and travel industry. Let's go. Hi Nick.
Yaniv.
Good to see you again. We're going to talk about another very important topic here, which is the competitive landscape of the online booking and travel industry. And how we as BitBook are combating that market. So I want to start off with the question is, how does this landscape, this competitive landscape in this industry look like at the moment?
So when you look at the surface, right, first of all, it's huge. Second, it looks like there are like gazillions amounts of websites that you can book your both your hotels or your flights, etc. through, and that are also very different. The reality is, though, that there's only two big corporations that own all these websites. And those involve all the big players, so no exceptions here. More than 90% is in the hands of two corporations. So that's good to know or be aware of when you browse the sites of like who is actually the owner. So there's two big players who are duking it out. They are almost similar in market size, and they absolutely dominate the market, so without question.
And how are they actually dominating this market? What are they doing that makes them so dominant?
Yeah, well, it's been years that they've built this up, but they are basically owning Google search, and especially the paid Google AdWords side of things, so the top of the Google search whenever you query. And they are also dominating on all social media, also through advertising. And they are owning the affiliate marketing, which is basically incentivizing travel bloggers or other sites that are travel related to send their traffic over towards that booking platform. So yeah, to just quickly summarize it, that those are their main traffic generators, let's say.
Understood. And obviously we talked about this in the past, but give us a little overview again of how we are positioning ourselves against these two large incumbents.
Yeah, so we are leveraging the crypto blockchain, let's say, as a fundamental way to both have a different business model as also to have a different marketing model. And basically combating their main revenue stream, which is commission. We don't depend on commissions at all. So we are dependent on the use of our token and the adoption through it, not through commissions. And so that way we can compete different. We have a completely different business model, and we also have a very different marketing game. Because when you look at the different way of competing, that's basically what all other travel projects in the crypto world also are trying to do, is leverage blockchain to have a different business model, which is great and equally good. The only issue they have, though, is they can't compete in their marketing game. They try to play in the same playing field as those major players with billions of revenue to try to combat them in Google AdWords or try to combat them with this affiliate traffic model. And in both cases, they will never be able to win. The ICO budget that they have, whatever the funds are that they raised, will be pretty fast. It will be back to zero. And because they don't have a standard commission model, it's really hard to compete. So our major difference is the marketing game when you compare it to the crypto projects, and we are equally having a different business model like other crypto projects when it comes to comparing blockchain to the traditional world.
Yes. So yeah, so you mentioned those 2 points, right? On one hand, we're against our crypto competitors, we're playing a different marketing game, right? The actual growth and adoption strategy. And against the incumbents, we're really focusing on destroying their commission-based model, which basically enables us to attract a lot of hotels, right? Is that the main point? Why we're not finding the commission game there?
So I've had years and years of chats with hotel managers and from very small to very big. And their main issue and their main thing, what they care about is when they get bookings, they are first of all completely dependent on those sites and they have to pay a large amount of commissions. So if you take away that big challenge, they are more than happy to take a booking through another vendor. So there is no loyalty in that sense, there's just dependency. And because there is dependency and sort of a monopoly on this online booking market, there's also very high commissions, up to 40% of a booking. Can you imagine that? 40% of a booking is commission. So it's not everywhere the case, but in many cases it goes as high as that. And so when you come there as a new player and you don't have to ask that at all, then you got all the ears of all those hotels for sure. So that will be easy. And similar to other blockchain projects, I think there's blockchain itself is a huge opportunity to disrupt a bunch of standard businesses and businesses that have disrupted the offline travel world before. We are now disrupting the middleman, let's say, in the online world.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, no, I think those are very interesting insights. What other threats do you currently see are occurring in this online travel industry? Either other companies that are also trying to play a similar game, or what, do you see anything?
Threats for us?
Yeah, for us. Yeah.
It's a good question. At the moment, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I don't really see how the existing players could compete other than that they would adopt blockchain themselves. Mm-hmm. And because they are so traditional and being steered by a big board and many investors, etc., I don't foresee that happen anytime soon. Mm-hmm. But the big risk or threat is that if these existing players also would adopt a blockchain model mm-hmm. and change their game completely. But I only think that will happen if a blockchain player will become very big mm-hmm. and they are forced to do so. Then it will happen.
Understood. Great insights, guys. As always, love to hear your thoughts on this. So look forward to seeing you on one of our channels. Cheers. Bye-bye.